Hey guys, when I first started engineering, I didn't know too much. I knew a little bit, but not too much. And I would look through mic manufacturers' catalogs, and I'm like, why do they have so many microphones? All I need is one. I knew enough to know that there were some really inexpensive microphones, and that there were some more expensive microphones, and probably the more expensive ones sounded better. But recently, through my relationship with Audio-Technica, a company that I'm really, really fond of, and I want to share some stuff with you today. I realized that they've got a really good complement of microphones. There's a little bit of overlap, so it's not one microphone, one job. There's like the new mic they're coming out with, the 5045. It does everything really well. I'm gonna share with you some things that I've done with it that I think it does extremely well. And I now understand why we have different mics, so many different microphones to choose from. And when you're making selections on a microphone, um, a lot of pros are selecting the Audio Technica line because they just deliver the goods, and they're good value. But the workmanship and the quality on these microphones is spectacular. I just love these clip holders. I sit here for hours and just locked, unlocked, locked, unlocked. I mean, it's just beautiful engineering. Today, what we're going to do is I'm going to share with you um, some things that Cole and I feel the microphone does really well. Now, this microphone can be used on overheads, which we're going to show you in a minute. Room mics, we're going to show you that in a minute. It's extremely good on acoustic guitar. It's got a, I don't know if you can see it. Go to the website, but there's a rectangular capsule which gives you, for the same size, I think I mentioned this to you before. It gives you the same surface area as a much bigger circular capsule would have. And this microphone just shines on acoustic guitars, horns, strings, spectacular on strings, piano, um, background vocals. I haven't tried it on lead vocals, but when you try it on lead vocals, let me know what you think. I got a feeling it'd be spectacular on that too. But today, we're going to show you some examples that Cole and I recently used the mic on. We're going to show you some mic techniques, an XY pair, space pair, how to record overheads from a little bit of a distance, a room mic, and a mono mic. So you can really spend some time up close with this mic at AES. So drop by their booth and check that out. Tell them that the good people at Pensada's Place sent you. Okay, I'm going to turn the microphone and the camera over to Cole Nystrom. Cole's going to show you some stuff that he's recently been working on with me, so check it out. And let us know what you think.
Hey guys, so Dave and I were recording some drums. We want to kind of share with you some of the techniques and placements and all the special and cool features of the new 5045s. So we ended up doing things from XY, space pair, a distant kind of overhead miking, room mics, and a couple mono mics on over drums. And we got some really cool things. So why don't we dive on in? I'll share it with you guys. So these are the XY overheads, and XY is a cool thing. It was sitting, we're probably about 6 feet up, and of course in standard XY kind of setup. But the thing that's nice about this is that a lot of times when we take overheads and put them into a mix, sometimes we just like them panned in a little bit. And with the XY, it just sits it just right without having to pan it. You can just set it up and it just fits really well in the mix. So why don't we check out how these guys sound? These things just have such a nice top end and sizzle and clarity on them. Huge fan of them. Alright guys, now that we got a chance to listen to the XY on it, this is kind of how we had it set up. We have, for these guys, since they're a side address, we have an interesting way of, having to get them together and doing an XY of it, but these guys work out great. If you want a tighter sound like we were talking about, these turn out incredible just how it is here. If you want a little bit wider and some space, just turn them out a little bit, get the diaphragm so they're facing out, and it'll just open up your room. So we also did a overhead spaced pair, so let's check these guys out. These were a lot more closer to the cymbals. They were almost like an accent mic. So you get a lot of, extra energy out of the crashes and stuff like that. And, the rest of the cymbals too, when you're playing, it just makes them pop really nice. So let's check those guys out. I'm loving how those are coming out. Alright guys, so now that we listened to the spaced pair, I just want to kind of show you how we set it up really briefly. We have the mics really low, kind of almost as an accent mic. We pretty much splitting the hi-hat and the crash, and also same over here between the crash and the ride. We're just kind of splitting them. And like I said, when we're using a technique like this, we're pretty much wanting to get as much out of the cymbals. So we're not thinking about the rest of the drums and all that. We're just pretty much thinking of them as accent mics for the cymbals. So it just really brings a lot out of them. So let's check out these distant mics. They're a few feet away from the kit and a few feet up. And these have a really cool tone to them. It's kind of like a Led Zeppelin-y kind of a feel, really live, ambient kind of sounding drums. So let's check these guys out. I'd be happy just using those things, man. It comes out killing. Alright guys, so that was the distance spaced pair that we just listened to. As you see, I've got the mics about 5.5 feet up, about 5 feet away from the snare drum. Like we were saying, these are really cool. You get actually quite a bit of ambience in here, and it really picks up, kind of gives you a Zeppelin-y, really rock kind of a feel. So these have a really, really cool use. So check those guys out. And with these next guys, it's just a simple pair of spaced room mics, probably about 10-15 feet away from the kit. And let's check those guys out. Really rich. I mean, it's just got such a nice tone to it. It feels huge. I mean, the room that we did it in was a really great room over at the Echo Bar. And, it's just, with these mics, it's just incredible, man. We've been really digging them. Alright guys, so that was the room mics that we just heard. As you see, they're about 15 feet away from the kit, about 10-15 feet away from each other as well. And when you sit and you lower the mic and it's closer to the floor, you're actually going to get some more low end. So that's why towards the previous one that we just showed you of like the distance spaced pair miking, this guy's a little bit lower, so you have a little bit more of a full sound to it and just sounds a little bit bigger. And here we also did a couple mono miking techniques. This one is kind of another kind of Zeppelin miking technique. That's just a few feet in front of the kick, slightly off to, towards the ride side of it. And it picks everything up really well. Let's check that guy out. Alright, so this is where we have our mono mic. Like I said, it's a few feet away from the kit, about 4 feet in front of it. Kind of same thing like we were talking about with the rooms. If you want more low end and a thicker sound, you can drop it down a little bit, kind of what we did with the rooms, and also it's definitely lower than our distance spaced pair. But this one is really cool if you have minimal inputs or minimal pre's or anything like that. This one is a great technique for capturing the whole kit. And with this last guy, we did something similar, but we actually had it right over the drummer's right shoulder, kind of aimed right at the kit. And this one is actually kind of one of my favorites for a mono miking technique, because you get a really well balanced, between all the toms and cymbals and everything. So let's check this guy out. All right, guys. So as I said, that's one of my favorite miking techniques for a single microphone when you're trying to cover the entire kit. You know, as I said before, either minimal pre's, inputs, whatever it be, you can still get a great sound off of them with these 5045s. As you see, that's just right over the drummer's right shoulder, trying to capture all the drums, kicks, snares, cymbals. We're just getting a few feet up off the ground, so it's kind of captures and oversees everything and just gets a really well balance of it all. All right, guys, now that you got a chance to, hear the sweet sizzle on this, the clarity, the depth in these mics, I mean, some of these you can just, use and drop into a mix, and they work out perfect, man. We're a huge fan of these. When you guys get a chance, why don't you check out Audio-Technica.com. Read a little bit more about the mics. Also, if you guys get a chance to make it out to AES, stop by, say hello to Dave and the rest of the guys. Check out Audio-Technica, of course, and see what they got going on. Really excited about these, and why don't you guys check them out, see how you like them. Let us know. Next time, guys.